Welcome to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. I'm Brooke Mangum.
And I'm Kari Hawker-Diaz. Okay, today's episode is so much fun because I got to interview Michelle and Jen. They started this golf apparel company for women called Fore All. You've probably seen it all over social media.
Yes, I've seen it.
You know that like green color that's like their go-to color? They were told at some point that that wouldn't sell.
Well, good thing that they didn't listen to that advice, because that green is everywhere and it jumps off your feed because people don't use a lot of green.
Yeah, it's so true. I've known Michelle since junior high school. We went to junior. I know, we go
Bachelor Nation.
Seriously, we go way back, and I have to tell you, she has always been and she was very popular in junior high.
Yeah,
she was so beautiful and kind. She was so nice always to everyone. Oh, that's who Michelle is.
That makes me so happy, because I do know Michelle, and I've only met her a few times, but I have that exact same. I'm like, I've never heard her say an unkind word. She was always so nice. And it's so funny because when you see people on reality TV, you're like, is that really them? Or what's this and that? And she's like the kindest human on the planet.
She really is. I mean, that's Michelle. And it's so fun to sit back and watch her create this company with Jen, who is so creative and has been a stylist in the past, and just the camaraderie with women that they have created. And you see them all over social, going to different golf courses and like with these events with women. And it's just so fun to watch.
Let's do a little girl power episode. What do you say?
Yes, let's do it. Michelle and Jen with Fore All. Hi, both of you.
Hi, Sarah.
It's so fun to chat with you. Okay, Michelle, first of all, you and I have known each other, I think, since maybe junior high.
Yeah, I think it is junior high. Yeah. We go way back.
Like a long, long time, not to age us or anything.
I know. It's wild. I know. We have like a long-standing friendship that has been so cool.
Oh, you know what? It's so fun to just sit back and watch your success. And with Fore All, which you see everywhere on Instagram now, and I mean, you're tagged everywhere. So let's start with that, with the company. So March 2023, a little over a year ago, marked the launch of your full golf apparel line. What sets your apparel apart from traditional golf attire? And maybe tell us what your company is.
We're really excited. We started in 2021 just as a golf event company, really. Like, we weren't even a company. We were just testing out the market. We were having events just to see if like women would be interested in coming, because golf was something new for us, Michelle and I, and we just started, became friends and just were like, hey, you want to learn how to play golf together? And through that, we realized what a gap in the market there was. There was nothing out there that we loved to wear. There was nothing out there that we loved to watch. All the content wasn't relevant to the modern day woman like ourselves. And so we were like, what is this? We started with events, and then each one of them were like sold out. We were just like, wow, this is crazy. And then we started our Instagram just very organically, didn't put any money behind it, just started creating the brand and the voice, and women just started following, and they started coming to our events, and they did really, really well. And we wanted to, obviously listen to every need that they had, but one of the main needs obviously were clothing. We partnered with a company called Worldwide Golf in 2022, and they wanted to partner with our apparel line. And so we went and started getting busy and developing a product line based off of the women who had already been in our community on our Instagram and at our events, and all the needs that they really wanted and that they needed. And then launched in 2023 our full product line.
Crazy. And turned into what it is now. And your apparel line is so cute. What are some of the popular items? And if somebody's listening and they haven't heard of Fore All, tell us what you guys have.
When Jen and I started designing in my kitchen in 2022.
Awesome.
With Mike was like cooking us dinner while we were like sketching out and trying to figure out what we liked about different pieces. The really great part about designing for golf is that Jen and I are very particular about aesthetics, and Jen has a background in fashion, and I have more of a background in makeovers. So we were really excited to kind of take on the challenge. But one of the biggest things that we were both drawn to is this deep green, this color green, the hunter green that we really are known for now. Mm-hmm. And so we've really wanted to incorporate that color into everything that we do. And so, I think what makes our lines stand out are, those green tones that I think are that specific green tone that I think is really unique to our brand that's now kind of becoming super trendy. But, we really pay attention to the curves of women's bodies, like the parts of our bodies that we don't really love. And so, I think what makes our brand stand out is the attention to detail and the sporty, but like still classy, but fun, edge that we put on to our brand that really sets us apart. So, a lot of people know us for our checkered pattern that we kind of kicked off our brand with. And then, as we've kind of moved along in our line, we've added elements of like this indigo blue now that we really love. And, those pinks, blacks and whites and stuff and creams. So we've kept our color palette like consistent. So if you were to buy a piece of our spring 23 line, it's going to go with our spring 25 line as well. So it's like a very, consistent color that we think is really helpful for women who are starting to golf. You don't want to invest a ton of money in apparel if you don't really know if you want to do it.
Right.
And then as you continue to play, just adding pieces to what you already have within our line makes it a lot more cost effective and fun to continue to create outfits.
Yeah. So cool. And it's so fun that you both get to do this together. How did you both meet?
Oh my gosh, Kari, you're going to die. Remember the movie Midway to Heaven?
Yes, that was filmed here. Yeah.
Yes. So Jen was the wardrobe stylist on that film.
Oh my gosh.
And I was an actor in it. And so we met through Midway to Heaven. And so I fell in love with Jen because for those of you who know Jen, she's easy to fall in love with. And she then went on to dress me for The Bachelor and, other events I've done. And so she's kind of been like my little fashion stylist since, forever.
And the history speaks for itself. That's amazing. And Jen, your background is fashion, right, Jen? That's kind of like what you've done for a long time.
Yeah, I've been obsessed with it. I was like a teenager and originally from Cali, and I used to sit in thrift shop every waking second, or ditching a lot of high school to go down to the beach and just thrift shop and take apart things and put them back together. And it's always just been kind of born in me. But yeah, so
that's
been
so
in
fun.
fashion for a long time, and then had my own fashion retail shops in Utah back in 2009, so far with
Wow.
that. And then after doing being a buyer and in retail, then I started doing a lot of development with fashion lines, jewelry lines, and then just kind of kept going from there.
Meant to be. Absolutely meant to be for both of you.
Meant to be.
And the inclusivity and style of Fore All has attracted more women to the game, which is amazing. Can you share maybe a story or two or testimonials from women who have been impacted by your brand?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. What's so cool is that from the very beginning, Jen and I have both been so passionate about, offering an exclusive size range for women. So we have really gone out of our way to provide extra small to double extra large. And, it's been so rewarding to get this feedback from these full-figured, beautiful women who want to get out and golf and haven't really had the right items to feel their best to do it. And so we get messages all the time just thanking us for the little details that we've implemented, our skirts. We kind of leave the back a little bit longer because a lot of times the back of the legs we're not really liking to show off. And so, some of those things, our Angie polo has more of it's a cap sleeve that has an angle, so it makes your arms look stronger and leaner, and having just all those little things that women care about. More of a waist line that has a little bit more, pulls you in a little bit more, gives you a little bit more of a flattering waist, and little things like that I think have been so fun to kind of see how it's really impacted the way people are experiencing the game of golf and just feeling in our line.
Yeah. So important and rewarding. Definitely. That's what it's about, right? Is making us feel good as well. And looking good too. That's a plus. And building a community without any advertising costs is quite impressive. Could you share maybe some insights on how you managed to grow your community so rapidly?
Well, Michelle's a good time, as we've been following her for a long time, right? Everybody just falls in love. Yeah. She's just a good time. She's one of the favorites of the friend group, right? So, I from my background, I love branding. So there's that element, but really you can have something that looks really perfectly pretty and nobody cares. It's stale and nobody cares. But when we started our Instagram, Michelle and I would go out and I I always think back and it's like, there was no like expectations. And so there was nothing that we had to like impress, like we weren't trying to impress anyone. And so we were just showcasing our bad swings. We were showcasing how we were pissed that you couldn't wear leggings on the golf course. Mm-hmm. We were, and like Michelle shared a lot of the stories that she had experienced, like traveling to different golf clubs with Mike and it was all about being real. And if you've ever like followed Michelle Money, like, that's what her brand is about like vulnerability and transparency. And so she really brought that amazing element to the brand. And that's what we started with. And quite frankly, it's kind of cool if you think about it, because I had been doing brands like, and starting companies forever. And like, it was so hard to like get traction on Instagram, mostly in the time that we started, like in 2021, right? It's just like unheard of. But because we were showcasing our bad swings, because we were showcasing the stories, the truth behind what we were experiencing as women trying to learn the game of golf, that really took like rapid fire. And people loved the vulnerability. They loved like laughing with us at this horrible swing. Those like behind the scenes of transparency, I believe like really were the first like spark of that fire and why we grew so fast organically.
Yeah, I think people we yearn for like the vulnerability. We yearn for honesty. We yearn for and Michelle, you've always been that way. And so I think that's definitely a piece to your success and organizing like successful golf events.
Jen does a really good job of that too.
It's something that like we can all like bond on together too, is just being together and being goofy and fun and not being perfect at golf, but we can look good at the same time, and you guys have organized successful golf events and partnered with leading retailers like Worldwide Golf, and that's major milestones for your company. What were some of the challenges that you would say you faced in achieving these milestones, and how did you overcome them? Because I'm sure there were many, building your business.
Yeah, I mean, I think originally, a lot of the challenge for us has been that this golf industry has been so dominated by men, and people just assumed that women weren't interested in golfing. But as we've grown to kind of like learn, it's that, a lot of times these men are the ones doing the merchandising in these golf stores, and men are the ones doing the buying a lot of times. And no offense at all against the men, but, it was like women needed to come in and kind of give the whole industry a makeover. And that's kind of how Jen and I have approached this, is not just from an apparel standpoint, but from just having more, real estate in these golf shops and having more fun and having more of a voice. And to Jen's point, like a lot of the content on social media is either LPGA players with these beautiful swings or like kind of flirty, sexy girls, have a whole bunch of men followers. And so there was never really a place for what like the actual real woman who is trying to learn, and like it's so uncomfortable to learn. So I think the biggest kind of challenges have been like breaking through some of those barriers that had to do with like men kind of running this market for so long.
Yeah. And like when we come and say, hey, we really want to do this green, every single buyer was like, oh, I mean, how many times did we hear it, Michelle?
I know.
Nobody
doesn't.
No one will buy a green.
Green doesn't sell. Green doesn't sell.
And it's crazy. And like Michelle and I just were like, no, we're going to do the green because we know we love it.
Well, that leads to my next question. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs, maybe women looking to disrupt and innovate in traditionally male-dominated industries like golf?
I mean, run, turn around, change your life plan. That's not what, I'm just kidding. It is so much more work than people even understand. But I will say, if you're really passionate about it, you have to have the passion behind it, because it's hard to break through those barriers. And it does require ruffling feathers. It does require pissing some people off and having to break out of like the traditions of what has been done in the past in that market. And if you don't have that kind of confidence and belief in your product and your voice and your brand, it's really hard to make it work. So, I mean, Jen and I have been so fortunate. We kind of feel like this brand was like meant to happen, and it was meant to happen through us. And so Jen and I have done a really good job of like listening to our intuition. And, I know what it feels like to start like a company and feel like, this isn't working, and having to have enough, self-respect to say like, this isn't going to work out. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
But when you're in tune enough with your own intuition to know, there's never ever been a doubt or like a, no, this isn't going to work. There's definitely been like, okay, we've got to pivot and like, we've got to get on the same page here, but it's never been a no. And so I would say like, you really have to get quiet and get in tune with like what your intuition is telling you, because brands like Fore All, there's such a bigger purpose in it all that, you know, if we are led to the right people, if we are led to the right customers and the right partners, you know, we believe that Fore All can change the whole industry.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I think it is, you know, I think it definitely is. And, you know, that says a lot for what you two have done and you two being in business together. How do you, since you are friends, how do you maintain a balance between your personal friendship and professional partnership? If someone's listening thinking, you know what, my best friend and I want to start a company, is that a good idea?
Well, I want to say first off, Michelle and I, like, we were not best friends, like, going into this. Like, we were really good friends that had worked, you know, we met on set, we stayed friends, like, we were friends, like, I would, you know, birthdays or whatever, you know, random weekends, but it wasn't like we were like every single day talking and speaking. Michelle, as you know, is her own entrepreneur and doing her own company, you know, Money Talks, and like had a bunch of different things going on, you know, with reality TV and stuff. And so she was really busy. And then at the same time, I was doing companies and starting companies and helping other brands like become companies. And I was really busy. And so I always think back to, because I have done, you know, other businesses with friends and stuff, and so has Michelle, and they were all great. But I think that for me, you know, being able to have our own independent identities is key, as well as trust. And I think that, you know, our characteristics and our attributes that we bring to the company are so different that we don't walk all over each other. And I think that is really key. Otherwise, it becomes a struggle if you're constantly, you know, both really good at only one thing. That never lasts, in my personal opinion. Michelle, you can speak.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think, you know, I think a lot of it is maturity. You know, I think it's like a lot of it is like trial and error. Like, you know, they say like you have to fail so many times until you finally succeed. And there's so much truth to that, because that's where you really have to go into a company like with removing your ego. And it's really hard to do in the early, when you're younger. I feel like Jen and I have both kind of matured and been through enough to know like we can't go into this with the mindset of like, I want to be the face of the brand. I want to be the one known for this. Like we just have really removed our ego and really tried to maintain like what is the best for the company. And when you do that, which I think we've done a really good job of, everything lines up. And, you know, Jen and I have become like best friends through working together. So it's like now we do have this incredible friendship that is so fun. Like it would be so boring to do this without her. It would be sad. You know, like we're so lucky because we really do respect each other and, you know, respect what each other brings to the table. And Jen is just really good at giving praises to me and our team and making everyone feel like, because Jen's our CEO. So Jen's the one running the day in and day out company. And so as the leader, you know, she's just done a really great job of making sure that like her ego is in check and everyone is getting credit for all the work that we're all putting in that is so unique to each of us. So I don't know how we did it, but we've done a great job, Jen.
Yeah, no, we really have. And like I would say, like, you know, it's the listening factor. And like Michelle said, like taking the ego out and then obviously like allowing Michelle to be the expert, you know, in all things that Michelle is the expert in, because she makes every single person in our team as well feel really good and safe and heard. And I think internal is always going to showcase our external. And I've always, like, you know, looking at different companies, like, you know, you can see that it's going to represent, it's going to bleed out into our marketing and our voice and our social outlets if we were not internally healthy. And so Michelle keeps everybody internally healthy here, and like, you know, and obviously she brings so much to the team because she's out there. And I don't know if everyone knows, but Michelle travels a lot with Mike, and so she's out there making so many relationships for us automatically, right? And she gets into doors that most people don't get into. So for us, like, Michelle's a huge asset, right? To be able to do that. So when I said in the beginning, it's kind of a yin and yang, right? It's like bringing different attributes to the company that actually complement each other instead of like run over each other, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think that is key, you know?
Yeah, you guys do it well. You're doing an amazing. You really are. I mean, you're creating a community experience for your audience, and you know, making sure people feel heard, and that's so important. I think we all want that, and I'm interested to know the future. What you think the future holds for Fore All? Are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you are particularly excited about that you could share with us?
I mean, there's a lot. Our 2025 is going to be explosive.
Yay!
I mean, it is wild what we are about to take on in the next year and a half. One thing to look forward to is that we are going to be, Mike is the captain of the President's Cup, which is this September in Montreal, for those of you who follow golf. He's the captain of the international team, so Fore All will be represented there. I'll be dressing all the wives in Fore All.
Amazing.
And we're super proud of that. And we have some amazing collaborations and amazing, like, brands we're partnering with. So I don't even know. Can we talk about it? No?
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, in general, just like the clouds, we're blurring the lines between fashion and athletic wear with some really cool designers that I know that everybody loves. And then, you know, that's kind of a cool aspect of what we were doing in 2025 is kind of, you know, there's a up and rise of like women in sports in general. And so Michelle and I are, you know, having fun with the design around that. And so that is going to carry over into just mainstream fashion. So everybody be on the lookout for that. So follow us because that's going to be a fun journey. And we'll showcase a lot of that BTS. And I think that transparency again is really why people, you know, do follow, because we are real. We're showing you the ups and downs and all the things. So it's going to be really great.
I can hear the excitement in your voice for the future of your company. It is so fun.
It's really cool.
It's fun to sit back and cheer you guys on. And thank you for.
Wait, Kari, are you a golfer?
I want to be.
Are you golfing?
I want to
be.
Have
you been golfing?
Yes. My Uncle Larry. So Uncle Larry, Larry Olson, he takes my husband golfing all the time. I should just go with them. He's a big golfer. And so I should go with them. He works with Good Time Golf. They're always partnering and doing good in our Utah community. So I feel like I should.
You know what? You get with Larry ASAP. And you know what?
I know. Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry, listen, Uncle Larry. We're going golfing.
Larry, do
it. Take the girl out.
I'm so proud of you guys. Let's get together on golf. And you know what? We want to get to know you two a little bit better too. We're going to do something as we wrap up called the Fresh Five. Are you ready?
Born ready. Let's go.
It's brunch. What are you ordering?
An omelet, an egg white omelet.
Ooh, she's healthy.
That's like one thing that I can never say.
Oh my gosh. Huevos
rancheros.
Huevos rancheros. That's yummy.
Because Michelle just drilled it into my head the other day. That's why. She tried so hard.
You did it. Those are both great options. Okay, next one. What's scarier, spiders or snakes?
Snakes.
Snake.
There you go. Okay, what's something?
For sure.
What's something you can't give up?
Coffee.
Michelle, what can I not give up?
You can't give up work.
Water?
You're a workaholic.
I'm a workaholic.
She's a workaholic.
Okay.
That's her addiction is work.
Okay. Coffee and work. There you go. Okay. Both of your first celebrity crushes.
Ooh.
Corey Haim.
Oh, I remember him. Oh, he's a cutie. Yeah, I remember him.
I had him on a poster on my wall.
I feel like it was like one of the new kids on the block, but I don't remember who.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
That sounds about right. I feel like that was our time.
So he must have not been that important in my life.
He wasn't.
All of them.
No. Yeah. All of them. Okay, last one. What is your ultimate comfort food? What are you getting if you're like, you know what, I'm stressed. I just need to eat something yummy, make me feel better. What's your ultimate comfort food?
Pizza.
Yeah, I would say pizza.
Pepperoni and cheese pizza. There's something about it that just is,
it just satisfies the soul.
It hits all the spots, you know?
It does. Just like that classic pepperoni and cheese. Yum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we're hungry. Okay, we're going to go eat and we're going to go shop and we're going to buy some stuff on Fore All on your website. If we want to shop online or what's the best way to follow you guys?
Okay, yeah. So you just go to www.foreall.com or you go to fore.all on Instagram and just follow us. There's links to go shopping directly. And then there's an app that you can download called Fore All Golf Club. So
great. We're also sold in Uinta Golf Shop.
Amazing.
So for those of you who want to go in and try stuff on, we are in 4 Uinta Golf Shops in Utah, right?
Yeah, I think in St. George, Sandy, and Salt Lake for now, and I think we'll be moving into the Orem one.
Amazing. Okay.
Oh, no, wait, and we're in Riverdale, I think.
Yeah, up north. Yeah.
Look at that. Well, it's been so fun chatting with you both. Congratulations on all of your success. I can't wait to see what 2025 brings for you and the future of Fore All. Michelle and Jen, thank you for chatting with me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you for having us.
Good talking to you.
You too. And thank you for listening to another episode of Fresh Off the Set. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.